We're back.
What's up?
Hi, everybody. Rachel and Jerryniesman, the Niesman team.
At Keller Williams Realty.
But it's so weird because we say the Niesman team at Keller Williams Realty, but our team is rapidly expanding.
It is.
Yeah, well, of course.
It's more than just the Niesmans now.
Yes, indeed.
It has been for
and
a while.
it has been for a long time. Yes, in fact. For those who don't know, I am Rachel and I handle all of the operations of our business. I am not a licensed realtor, so if you have any real estate questions, he's the guy for it. Jerryniesman is our team leader and licensed realtor.
Yes.
Realtor.
One person commented on the way
on social media
she pronounced realtor, and so now she has to.
She
has to make a point to say realtor
instead of realtor.
There's no I.
I never said it like an I. Realtor.
There's no
A
either.
in the middle. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because I'm not one. So I know how to say executive assistant beautifully. So anyway.
Are we here to have a conversation about how we pronounce realtor?
Apparently not. So 13 years in Southwest Florida real estate. We serve all the way from Tampa down south to Marco Island, which is the topic of our conversation today. We're going to get to it in just a second. We are happy to be here. We've helped about 700 families buy, sell, or invest in, move in, or out of Florida. Southwest Florida. And so we are a husband-wife team, and we have a group of great agents also working with us. And so, yeah, today we are talking about pros and cons of Marco Island. And I like Marco. Tell me about
Do
Marco.
you?
I kind of do. If I were,
If you were an island, Marco is what you would be?
Yes. If I had to choose, if I myself personally if I were to look at Captiva, Sanibel, Naples isn't an island.
It is not.
But we'll talk about the different areas, down the coast.
Siesta
line.
Key.
Yes, if you're going to talk about them.
Anna Maria Island.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marco's it.
You've never been to Anna Maria Island.
I don't know. I've been here
It's
a long
north
time
of-
to have not been.
North of Siesta Key. It's off of Bradenton.
Oh, cool.
So the very north end, that's pretty much the northernmost island that we cover. So yeah, Marco is the southernmost island that we cover. It is the southernmost island off of the coast of Southwest Florida, because of course the Keys, that you can drive to.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So everybody knows the I-75 runs.
I could be wrong.
Up and down the state.
What's that other island that we've been out to?
There's 10,000 islands. There might be little
It is
baby
specifically
islands,
called the 10,000 islands.
So,
I want to know who counted them.
Yes, that's a great question. Some explorer.
Or did they
back in
just
1800s.
make up the number?
So
There's a lot. We'll just call it 10,000.
if you're on the
Nobody's ever gonna count.
75 headed southbound from the Tampa
I
area,
have to look.
you are going to not
not
even
nice.
get to or see Marco Island and stay. You're going to head towards Miami, right? On the 75, if you head
Yes.
south from Naples, you'll miss Marco.
You make the turn
yes.
where it curves east to go to
Yes.
Miami, Fort
Fort
Lauderdale,
Lauderdale,
and it's
across
the
the
first
state.
exit.
Yes.
Where's your Google
So
Maps?
it's kind of secret. That's what I kind of like about it. Marco Island is this exclusive, secret, private. It's not secret or private. Obviously, a lot of people know about it. But it's not the easiest to get to. It takes a little bit of, it's 20 miles south of Naples for anybody doing any
depends
math.
on where you're talking about.
Naples,
but yeah.
of course. So it's past Naples. You have to go all the way south. The closest airport.
That's right. Chokoloskee is actually further south than Marco
Chokoloskee.
off of Southwest.
Nobody out there is
Florida.
talking about Chokoloskee. Chokoloskee is one of those we have alligator
I thought they were
to feed and offer
I-
some tackle and bait. That's not Marco.
I thought that was. I thought I was wrong when I said that, but anyways.
So if you're thinking of visiting Marco Island, your home airport is going to be, the closest airport is going to be RSW, or that's Fort Myers Airport, Regional
Unless you
Southwest.
got a private jet.
That's true. And then you could get
You can
closer.
fly into Naples.
So you can fly into Naples, has its own little, which you may, because A lot of celebrities and famous people visit Marco, live on Marco. Do you know who Marco Island's, like, one of the notorious, most famous residents is?
Who?
Judge Judy has always lived down Judge Judy Shineland.
On Marco?
I think so.
No, I don't think so. She was in Naples.
Let's
I
find
thought,
out.
if I remember correctly, she
Let's
was...
fact check. All right, so break me down
Anyways.
some of the pros of living in Marco.
Pros to Marco is, well, I mean, it's Southwest Florida, so proximity to the beaches.
Yeah. Beautiful beaches.
Some of the top beaches in the world.
Yes.
Crescent Beach is over 6 miles long. Stunning beach, beautiful water. Tiger Tail is a cool little kind of more hidden beach. Hideaway Beach is also a more hidden beach. Those are on kind of the north end of the beach, where Crescent Beach is down on those are on the north end of the island. Crescent Beach is on the south end of the island.
So proximity to water.
Yep.
I mean,
excellent restaurants, both like casual fun bars and restaurants, as well as like some really good higher end dining, fine dining restaurants. You've got a really good mixture of property types. So you've got the high-rise condos. We've got a client that's actually closing on one this week on Friday. Beautiful condo right on Crescent Beach, overlooking the water. You've also got single-family homes. And believe it or not, I'm always surprised every time when I look at, when I've got clients looking at Marco, there are some, I mean, everything in Florida has gotten more expensive significantly, as it has in most of the rest of the country. But I'm always surprised at the prices at some of the more affordable stuff on Marco.
Oh,
There's
sure.
actually a really big range, and almost like across the street from each other. Like it's really interesting, but there are some decent, I mean, they're smaller, but some nice like condos that are walkable from the beach in in a more moderate price range as well.
When you say affordable, like give me a range. Sitting here now in summer of 2023, what's the lower end of something you're going to find something for sale? Or
Like in the 300s
Oh, that's surprising.
versus like 2.5 million,
Yeah.
4 million, 5 million, 10 million.
Very
but like
surprising.
a lot of people think that you can't touch anything on Marco for under $1 million.
That is
But
a
you
little
can.
bit of my, that's my viewpoint of it. And as somebody who doesn't search the MLS every single day. But yeah, because it has that feeling of exclusivity, of being luxury. It's just south of Naples, so it brings down a lot of that Naples energy. Naples is the like closest, if you're looking for big shopping, big stores, it is an island. So like it's a little more, it's beach. It's a beach,
but
it's an island.
It's really they strike a really good balance of being beachy without being like your run down beach area that's like, just constantly battered by the salt water and air, salt in the air and all that. Like they do a really good job of maintaining the entire island.
I know a lot of people ask, like, how does it compare to Sanibel, in your opinion, to Sanibel Island?
So it's actually really interesting. Most people that love Sanibel hate Marco.
And vice versa.
And most people that love Marco hate Sanibel.
So tell me why. Like, what? It would be a pro or a con for somebody, like, depending on which one they are in.
Because Marco comes across, that's what I was trying to get to, like, they strike a good balance of being a, like, comfortable, laid-back beach town.
Yes.
But not run down.
Yes.
And also not like super, super high end, like some people might even say like it feels snooty.
Right.
But like Sanibel is more, I would say, on the high end side. It's like, I mean, you got to pay to go to Sanibel. Like you want to go to Sanibel, you pay, and it's not a cheap toll bridge.
Well,
to get there.
And
Marco doesn't have that.
Sanibel has...
Which is interesting too, because Sanibel's off of Fort Myers and Marco,
off of
where
Naples, like
Fort Myers is
reverse.
more the laid back, beach town on the mainland versus Naples is much more high end.
So it's like
so it's really interesting that the islands have have kind of the opposite feel.
So I know that Sanibel has significantly more. So this may be a con for Marco if it's something that you're into. I know that Sanibel, if you're looking specifically for shelling and animal wildlife, that's much more prevalent on Sanibel Island. And then the beach island living is
people shell them.
Sure, you go to Florida, you look for shells.
On Marco, sure. But yeah, there's not...
The shell museum is on Sanibel. like the museum of all the shells that exist in Florida is on Sanibel Island. They're known for shelling. Yeah. Yep. And they have the preserve over there where you can drive through and see all these amazing Florida native animals. Whereas Marco has, it's more island living, beach living, luxury. They have nice fine dining restaurants, multiple of them. Whereas I feel like Marco Island has more Naples-like amenities than Sanibel does. I feel like Sanibel tries to keep that like quaint small town. Whereas Marco Island has comedy clubs and like really nightlife.
They do have a little bit of.
They have a little more nightlife. They have a little more restaurants and activity
It's also easier access to the stuff in Naples.
Correct.
Than than I feel like Sanibel is coming to Fort Myers. Well, you have to go further inland.
Yes.
Off of Sanibel to get to the stuff in Fort Myers versus.
Agreed.
So
pro or con, depending on which side of the list. Let's talk about transportation in Marco Island. So you're going to need. It would probably be to like hire a car service to get from the airport or to rent a car. You're probably going to need a car.
If you're leaving the island, sure. But on the island, it's going to depend. I mean, it's not like it's a tiny island. It's pretty big. I mean, it's 4 miles wide. I think it was by like 5 or 6 miles long. So it's pretty big island. But depending on where you're staying, it can be very walkable.
Or bicycle. You can rent bicycles. You can rent scooters. You can even rent golf carts. There's companies that will allow you to come to Marco Island and rent a golf cart for the week at your location that you're staying at. So they do make it easy to kind of get along. I know that Sanibel's big on bikes and that's everybody bicycles
it's
everywhere.
Same thing, but Sanibel's longer and skinnier.
It's long and skinny, whereas Marco Island's more of a square.
Yeah.
More cylindrical.
Yep.
And it hosts some of the most, if not the most expensive hotels in Florida in terms of just like, it really does have next level luxury if that's something that you're looking for. More than Naples, more than Sanibel, more than Captiva, you can find it. It exists in Marco Island. And so that is a pro or a con that could go on your list. And so if you don't like
depending
that,
on what you're looking for.
If you're not into that, then there are more laid back beaches up and down the coast. And if you're looking for a little bit of like a romantic getaway, a luxury getaway, it's a great like honeymoon destination.
Yep.
It's a really great for stuff like that. And that doesn't mean that families aren't welcome. Of course they are. They have plenty of condos and rentals and stuff like that for families to come and stay at too. But the
big
average,
condos too.
Yes.
There's a lot of people think of condos as small, but there are a number of buildings with large, like 3 and sometimes even 4 bedroom condos on the island. I mean, the one that we're selling is like 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the size, that's bigger than a lot of people's houses here.
Right.
So, and there's bigger stuff than that. I mean, there was one of the buildings, there's like I saw one that was like 4,000 square feet. So,
crazy.
I mean, there's lots of variety and options there.
I know a lot of people ask about when you start looking at island vacations and island trips, like, does it have a party vibe or is it a party island? I would say there is, as we mentioned, a better opportunity for nightlife there. But I would say it's not really for partying. It's not really,
Well,
no, but I don't know many people who spring break in
Southwest Florida is not necessarily known for its
Correct.
party destination vibe.
But if you're looking to avoid spring breakers, it's Marco Island's a great place for
It
it.
is.
If you're looking to celebrate spring break and can only go to the Gulf Coast, Fort Myers is a better option. Fort Myers Beach is going to be a better option. And so, is it a party island? I wouldn't say so. They do have a good nightlife there. So, pro or con, if you're looking for party options, you are just like literally like 2 hours away from either like Clearwater or Fort Lauderdale, Miami. So, just drive across the state or up the state and you'll be at better party destinations.
Yep.
So, pro or con, depending on what you're looking for. What else? Any other information? Any other pros and cons?
Trying to
What do you
think of
find
what,
that any other problems that people have with it? Any other? It is the largest of 10,000 islands.
It's one of the
seems like a lot.
One of the best. It's rated one of the top retirement communities in the entire country.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it, but it's,
I have here in my notes as I peruse it. Of course, just, no state income tax. Of course, everybody knows like the Florida.
Well, that's a Florida thing.
That's a Florida thing. But
very popular Florida thing.
It's a popular Florida if you're looking to buy or invest in. We could talk about what it looks like to live in Florida and have use that to your advantage. And it is fairly close to the airport. You're within an hour of it. It's not that far away.
Right.
There are places in Florida. I mean, it's a long state. Marco's pretty far south. If you were to be in Marco Island and try and drive out of the state of Florida, it would take every bit of 9 or 10 hours. It's almost as far down in the state of Florida as you can go. It's at the very tip of Florida. And so, of course, the weather's beautiful and direct access to waterways.
Yeah, if you're a boater, there's tons of boating opportunities and properties. Also, there's a couple of really nice golf courses on Marco. And if you're a big golfer, then you just hop over the bridge and get into Naples to some of the best golf courses in the entire country. Mm-hmm. So
some other cons are just standard Florida cons where hurricanes exist. I mean,
not the weather, not the normal weather, but hurricanes.
Hurricanes,
yes.
The option of that happening. And then it does have a high cost of living. I have here that Marco Island's cost of living is about 37% higher than the U.S. average. But we know that, right? I mean, when
you're living in a beach town, you're gonna be it's gonna be more expensive to maintain properties. It's going to be, and they're going to be more expensive, which means your property taxes are going to be higher, your insurance costs are going to be higher.
Yep.
All of those things are going to cost more because of the risk from being near the water.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it. And if that's something, if you want to be by the water, that is a reality of the life. If that's the life you want, that you have to pay for it. I mean, that's just the reality of what that is.
But at the end of the day, you're living in truly some of the most luxurious, beautiful Gulf Coast Florida living within a 30-minute drive of pretty much anything in Naples.
Oh, yeah.
You're into Naples, Florida.
Yep.
You're right there. Some of the best shopping in Florida, some of the best entertainment in the Gulf Coast of Florida. It's easily accessible. Plus, you're in one of the most beautiful islands in Florida. Honestly, and you're not that far from. If you wanted to, it's completely feasible to. It's just as feasible to fly into RSW, stay in Marco Island, and take like a weekend or a week getaway on your trip down to the Keys. If you want to, you can hop on the 75 and head down to the Keys. As if you were to fly into Fort Lauderdale or Miami Airport and then have to drive that direction too. It's not close. It still takes a few hours, but you're as close as you're going to get from the Gulf Coast. You're as close as you're going to get from the Gulf Coast of Florida. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think it's a great option.
Yeah.
If it suits you and what you're looking for. So let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to answer them. You can call, text, message, email, social media, all those things. We appreciate you listening to us. Drop some comments below if you have them. I'm sure anybody watching and listening would love your question as well. We're happy to answer them. And so thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We'll be back with more, and we hope you have a great day.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.